Hello, knife fans. Love Them Knives channel, LTK here. We're going back to Kizer. Wow, we go from one Chinese brand to another, but these are all like storming America, taking it place over, man, just making it theirs. And this one is the Kizer Sovereign A2. Stonewash blade. Blue and black G10 scales on both sides. I believe this is their Vanguard series, so this is their kind of more affordable series. Their Bladesmith series are like titanium frame lock with S35VN. These are G10 liner lock with VG10, which, you know, that ain't all that bad. No, not at all, because these are a lot less expensive. I mean, you're looking at the Bladesmith stuff, some, $2 1/4, $225, something like this. This baby doll here is like $71 on Knife Center, at least. So, made in China, yeah. Sovereign. Of course, the box says A2. Got, it came with, I guess I'll have to pull this out. See, there's a cleaning cloth in here. So that's really cool. Oh, I got this from Kizer. It's amazing. Those Kizer people, they have Kizer knives. How does that happen? And it was very nice of David to send me this. David, he's a Kizer rep. You may have seen him in the video on YouTube from Blade HQ. They went to the SHOT Show and shot different videos on different, the different companies, what they're coming out with for 2017. And David was the guy on their video representing Kizer, showing us the Megatherium and some of the other stuff that was coming out, which, wow. I mean, Daryl Ralph, they're doing his version of the gun hammer, and it's just, yeah, they got some really good things that when they do actually hit the market, I want to get my hands on. So I'm watching to see when I can buy some because, wow, it's just incredible. This is a liner lock, as I said before. It's got ambidextrous thumb studs. Like we said before, it's VG10. And, there's your model number, V4423A2. So the Sovereign A2. Nice. This is sculpted. You can see when you look here, it's like waves whoosh, 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 along that scale. So it's not just that it looks wavy, it actually is wavy. No nonsense access to being able to disassemble the knife with your Torx screws. You have, a hole for a lanyard. You have these little standoffs in here, these stainless steel standoffs. Not overly done with standoffs, so they haven't junked it up with a whole busy bunch, but adequate for structural integrity. And if you can look through here at the stainless steel scale on the presentation side, you can see that they've skeletonized that. You have a nice satin pocket clip, 2 screws, holds it in place. The 1 screw clips just make me nervous. I don't like this thing moving around, but that anchors it sufficiently. Don't know if you could use this as a glass breaker, but obviously you could use it as an impact, self-defense, whatever. And like I said, the liner lock is about 25% lock up here. Ambidextrous thumb studs. And this, interestingly enough, doesn't have bearings. It's got bronze washers. So if you want to call those thrust bearings, and there's your designer, Kim Ning. Nice. I really like this. If you've seen my video on Real Steel, where they talk about the T101 Thor special edition that has blue and black G10 sculpted scales on it as well. But it doesn't have VG10 steel. It has Sandvik. So a little bit different there in that regard. It disengages really easily here because see the cutaway? I like that. I like where they give you access to get your thumb in here to disengage the liner. It's a little bit different action than ball bearings, you know, because, and this doesn't have any blade play and there's no lock rock. I did play with this pivot a little bit. I loosened it, I tightened it. I tried to get it at a place where there was no blade play, but it was, you know, pretty much the flipping action would work sufficiently. If it had bearings, it would be a little bit easier to deploy. This one is not as much as some of the other Kizer knives that do have bearings. But, you know that this is not a $225 knife or even a $125 knife or even a $100 knife. This is a $70 knife. So that changes things a bit. Very sharp. Let's cut something up. I mean, if you're not going to cut something, what's the point? Oh. I noticed it the other day because I used this to cut a package open. It was like, no problem. Looks like modified sheep's foot. And here's your, if you've seen these in the background laying there on the table, yeah. Tip up, right and left hand. You can see you've got room to change your clip over here. Sorry if I didn't mention that before. 5.46 ounces. We'll find that out. Stainless liners, G10 scales, thumb stud and or flipper, ambidextrous thumb studs, by the way. Liner lock, stone wash, and I love this stone wash finish. You know, it just doesn't show the fingerprints, but it's so smooth. But it's, man, I really like stone wash, especially on a user knife. This is not an art knife. This is not going to probably in most cases go into a showcase or display case. This is going to be one that you actually carry and use. Although they did a nice job machining the thumb studs and, yeah, the hardware's nicely done. Not a problem there. There's your blade stop. You can kind of see your washers in here on the inside. Gold looking. And, you know, because it's stone washed, these edges here are not sharp. They're very nicely rounded. There's no jimping on the front of here, but I don't think you need it. And once you get used to the flipping action on this knife, it's not that difficult. Or if you'd rather, this deploys real easy, the thumb stud, so that works great too. It doesn't matter. I like the G10 though. It's rough and tough, doesn't show a lot of wear, doesn't mark up easy. You know, I've thrown this in my pocket and carried it the last few days because because it's, you don't have to worry about it rubbing up against keys or something in your pocket. It's not going to scar up. It's really a sharp knife. It's easy to deploy, and it's a good EDC size. Blade length, 3.5 inches, a little over 8 inches overall. Over 3 millimeters thickness, and let's find out for sure. So 0.12, yeah, because it's a 1/8 inch, which is 3.22. So they were right on there. Overall thickness, depending, you got to hit the high points, I guess. 13.5. So millimeters, so 0.53 inches. Good, normal EDC size for your hand. Feels pretty good in the hand. I mean, if you got gigantic hands, you may run out of real estate down here a little bit. My hands are not tiny. So, and it's nice to have this guard up here. Keep your hand from slipping onto the blade while you're killing that large rhino that, ran through your front door. But it's yeah. I mean, you can see where your fingers are comfortable in this scale. Absolutely. So that's good. I mean, ergonomics are great on this knife. It does feel comfortable in hands. Don't know about reverse grip. It kind of reverses the natural flow of your hand, but it's doable. But this is the most comfortable way. And of course, like I was saying, you got an easy way to get your thumb to over there and disengage the liner lock. Yeah. It works. It works. Like I said, 3.5, and I'm sure we'll bear that out here. Yeah, 3.5. 9 centimeters, shy of 21 centimeters overall, and we're looking at 8 1/8. So yeah, nice knife. Doesn't seem overly heavy, but it feels substantial in the hand. 5.4, yeah. So it's a good EDCable. It's not terribly light, but it's not terribly heavy. And with the fact that they kind of skeletonized out the liner, 152 grams, not bad at all. 5.4. Yeah, I mean, see, they knocked some holes in there, so made it a little bit lighter. And let me see if we can scare up something. Like here's the standard size CRKT fossil, and you can kind of see how that goes. Looks like a bigger knife, doesn't it? Yeah, it is a bigger knife. It's a taller knife. It's a beefier knife. Although the width here with the G10 is actually wider than this one here, because this is like 0.6 of an inch. This is 5.5. But come on, that's not that big a difference. It's not that big a difference. Take this. This is just a standard 3.5 inch, and they're the same length. But this one looks bigger, doesn't it? And that's because that blade is just taller. It's taller. You got a lot of blade here. So that's nice. But not so much it's going to take up a lot of real estate in your pocket. It folds pretty well right down into that handle. So it's not big that way. If you want to, let's take a look. Let's see if it's, your standard knife's going to be like 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. So there you go, 1.4. Yeah, it's, there's some that are 1 inch, 1.25 inches. So 1.5 inches is kind of on your upside of your standard EDC, but it's right there in the pack. Real grippy. Love the G10. Love the traction on here. So nothing wrong with that. Comes in kind of this, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. This kind of hang tag type box. So it has a plastic thing that would come up here, and you can hang this on a pegboard for display. Yeah. I think a knife like this, I don't know. I would think a $30 knife would hang on somebody's board, but not this. I don't know. SRP is like $130, something like that, and I believe. No, it's 110, but like 71 bucks. So it's a working man knife, sheepswood, milled, that kind of thing. And if you want to pause and read, this is the online lowdown on it. There you go. They're talking about their manufacturing process, the Vanguard series, and the specs that continue on to the last page. Looks like we pretty much carried the day on getting all those specs out to you on this video. Yeah. I do like the G10. I like that it's a very carryable and very functional knife. Very sharp. I like VG10. So it's a good knife. I mean, at that price, it's a really attractive piece. Very sharp, ambidextrous, right, left hand, tip up. I don't know. Say what you want, but if you like the design, it really makes it attractive. And so that's kind of how that boils down, because really, the real steel with the Sandvik is only about $10 less expensive, and you're getting VG10 here. So you got bearings on theirs, you got thrust bearings on here. Yeah, I mean, this still functions very well. Snaps right out, locks up good, and there's no blade play or lock rock or anything on here. It's very nice. All right, guys, gonna let you go. Take one last look. Done good machining here on the pivots. I've really got no issues with the fit and finish. There's no sharp edges. They've knocked down all the edges, and it's nice and rounded. It just feels good in the hand. It's a great EDCer. Really is. Kizer. Oof. Boy, I'm looking forward to their stuff coming out for 2017. I'll be bugging David. It's like, dude. And he said it'd be a few months, so I wouldn't get jumped up about it right now. This is early March of 2017. I don't know, but I think it's going to be late April, May, or even into June before we see the things like the gun hammer by Kizer and the Megatherium and things like that actually come out for general circulation. But wow, I'm looking forward to that. Take care, friends. Stay with us. It's always interesting on the LTK channel. Love them knives.